NNPC has no reputation. Your reputation is for fraud. How can you sit us to our face and you say people want their children to be
because you are a senator does not mean you should sit here and be abusing.
I listen, I hear you say people want their children to be employed in NNPC. Yes, because it's a house of thieves.
Have you seen the headlines about Adams Oshiomhole and the Nigerian Senate recently? Some people are saying he went too far. Others are saying he only said the truth. But what actually happened?
I listen, I hear you say people want their children to be employed in NNPC. Yes, because it's a house of thieves. And they want their children to benefit from it.
On June 10th, 2026, the Nigerian Senate was holding a session that involved the Nigerian National Petroleum Company, NNPCL. Now, this was supposed to be a serious oversight discussion. Basically, lawmakers trying to understand what is happening with money, operations, and accountability in the oil sector. But what started as a normal session quickly turned into one of the most controversial political moments of the year. And at the center of it was Senator Adams Oshiomhole. During the session, Oshiomhole raised very strong concerns about alleged financial irregularities in the oil sector. He was clearly emotional and very direct in his words. At one point, he described the NNPC in a very harsh way, calling it a house of thieves. Now, his statement alone changed the atmosphere inside the Senate immediately, because in a formal setting like that, words are not just words. They carry political weight, legal meaning, and public impact. But Oshiomhole didn't stop there. He also demanded that the former NNPC boss, Mele Kyari, should be urgently brought before the Senate to answer questions about alleged financial issues.
Mr. Chairman, this committee must have the courage, the will, to deploy its powers as enunciated in the Nigerian Constitution and issue warrant, not tomorrow, today, and bring Mele Kyari, even dead or alive in law. They will call habeas corpus. Even if he's dead, we want to see the body. And he will account. And you should say, here lies a man who died without accounting for his alleged crime that rose into trillions of naira. We are not talking of billions of naira. At the time when the country is borrowing money, we have huge sums of money that have not been accounted for. There are serious issues not raised by laymen.
He pushed for immediate action, insisting that accountability must not be delayed. In simple terms, he was saying, we cannot continue like this. People must answer what happened. But the way he said it and the words he used is what caused the problem. Inside the Senate, not everyone agreed with his approach. Some senators felt his language was too extreme. The phrase house of thieves especially became the center of the issue because of many lawmakers. That kind of statement does not just accuse individuals. It also damages the image of an entire institution. Others also felt that Oshiomhole was speaking more like a street-level activist rather than a senator following parliamentary procedure. And this is when the tension began to rise.
Comrade Adams Oshiomhole, to withdraw that statement, it will make good to this Senate that will be asked to withdraw that statement publicly.
So, what started as a corruption concern quickly turned into a debate about respect in the Senate, proper language in office settings, and how far lawmakers can go when speaking publicly. After the session, reactions started building up immediately. Many senators were uncomfortable with the tone of what was said, and by the next day, the Senate leadership began to respond officially. On June 11th, 2026, the Senate took a clearer position. First, they officially distanced themselves from Oshiomhole's comments. They made it clear that his statement, especially the house of thieves remark, does not represent the position of the Senate as an institution. In other words, they were saying what he said is his personal opinion, not the official voice of the Senate.
Dissociate the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria from comments attributed to distinguished Senator Adams Oshiomhole, describing NNPC among other statements, as a bunch of criminals and thieves, and clarified that such remarks do not constitute the official position, finding, resolution, opinion, or determination of the Senate.
The Senate also addressed another serious issue that came out of the previous day's session. There was talk about arrest powers and enforcement actions regarding the investigation. So the Senate clarified something very important. Senate committees cannot independently issue arrest warrants. That power does not belong to individual committees or senators acting alone. It must follow proper legal and leadership procedures within the Senate structure. This clarification was important because it showed that some of the actions being suggested during the heated debate were beyond normal parliamentary authority. Inside the chamber, the disagreement did not just stay calm. There was visible tension. Some senators openly criticized Oshiomhole's approach. They said his choice of words was damaging and unnecessary. Others argued that while corruption concerns are valid, they must be addressed in a more disciplined and respectful way. There were even suggestions that he should withdraw or soften his statement.
Now, my choice of words, even in matters of murder, if you can establish that you acted under extreme provocation, the court will take a second view. This Senate, under your leadership, was being attacked. Our collective integrity was called into question. You were accused of nominating your children to work in NNPC. And here we're asking questions about 210. But what I want every member of the House to hear is that two issues. But NNPC claim over 107 million was in banks that have been liquidated. Without listing the name of the banks. Second, that about 103 trillion naira was by drivers and tankers that carry product of NNPC and they cannot account for it. Sir, I have a duty to the Nigerian nation first, and may God punish me anytime I knowingly allow my responsibility to be compromised by people who think they have money. That is why I said, among other things, that the laws of the Senate will be meaningful when we use it to deal with people who have money, who are lions, not when we harass innocent, poor civil servants. I said so.
But the debate showed something deeper. The Senate itself was divided between emotion and procedure. After all the backlash, Oshiomhole responded, but he did not fully withdraw what he said. Instead, he explained that his comments were made under provocation.
Now, with regards to my use of the word thieves, I acted under provocation because your distinguished members were being attacked unjustly, and I thought I have a duty to defend all of us.
He insisted that his frustration came from serious allegations involving massive financial irregularities in the oil sector. In this defense, he argued that he was not trying to insult the Senate. He said he was trying to expose issues and demand accountability. So his position was basically this: I may have used strong words, but the issue I raised is serious and should not be ignored.
Under extreme provocation that a man who cannot account for 107 trillion he claimed I deposited in various banks that have gone into liquidation. He did not name the banks. He did not name the amount. And the auditor said this is not correct. Not my opinion. That is the auditors. 9 times on your authority, we invited them. 9 times he did not show up. So is that an embarrassment to me or to you?
Now, stepping back from the emotions, what does this story really tell us? This is not just about one senator or one statement. It shows a deeper conflict in governance. On one side, you have lawmakers who believe in strong, aggressive accountability, calling things exactly as they see them. On the other side, you have an institution that values order, procedure, and controlled communication. And when those two styles clash, controversy is almost guaranteed. So, to summarize everything simply, on June 10th, Oshiomhole made a very strong accusation and used very harsh language inside the Senate. On June 11th, the Senate officially rejected his wording and clarified its position and rules. And now the whole country is left debating one question: should leaders speak boldly even if it causes controversy, or should they always stay with strict parliamentary discipline? That is the real conversation behind this story. Do you think Oshiomhole was right to speak that boldly, or did he cross the line?